how do you get fascinated by something? Is that from a book, from a friend, or from a teacher? During my first year of bachelor's degree, I had a botany teacher, and he was so fascinating. He had this special talent of destroying everything I thought I knew about botany. And I would like to do the same today, because the title of my talk is Why an Apple is Not a Fruit, which doesn't make sense, right?
Damn.
But that's only the kitchen. Indeed, in our everyday language, the definition of a fruit is quite simple. That's something coming from a plant, which is fleshy, which can be sweet, and that's it, right? But in botany, things are much more rigorous. And to understand that, we need to step back to the flower stage. So here I have a nice edible flower. In more or less every flower, you will have some petals. You can have some stamens, which are the male organs. And here you have a very, very big ovary. That's why I choose this species, a big ovary. And the ovary is the female part of the flower. So a fruit is what comes from the ovary. And the fruit has the role of spreading out the seeds and also spreading out the seeds and protecting them. So a fruit is what comes from the ovary. So that means that a lot of our vegetables are actually fruits, which is the case for cucumbers, for tomatoes, for all kinds of nuts. They're all fruits. And that's the same for wheat, for all grains. So the wheat that we use to make bread is actually fruits.
Amazing.
So to make you having a more idea of the big picture, if we consider all the flowering species, so all the plant species producing fruits, and if we take only the 50 species that we currently use for our everyday consumption of fruits, it corresponds to only 0.02% of the species. So yeah, we don't have the big pictures. But things can be even funnier if the nature decides to make structures looking like fruits, but which are not fruits. And that's the case for an apple. If you take an apple and if you cut it, you will see the core on the side, right? The core is star-shaped, it's hard, and we don't eat that. But the core is actually what comes from the ovary. So that's what is the fruit. So the core is the fruit. And the surrounding part, it's just coming from another tissue. It's like the peduncle. It's not the ovary, so it's not the fruit. So when you eat an apple, you eat something which is not the fruit, and you throw away the fruit. So back to my classroom, when I first learned that, it blew my mind up. And I hope also sparkled some interest in your mind today. So, yeah, my teacher, he didn't stop here. He also told us that daisy is not a flower. But that's for another story.